And welcome back.
Hello.
We're doing so much better this time because if you remember the beginning of our for last week's video, we forgot to hit record. So we are making sure that we
Yeah.
do that because
And
we had said some really good stuff in those,
and
I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes we missed.
yeah, and we had a guest appearance of
hmm
my husband.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh my
You know
gosh,
what, when
I
I went to
laughed
upload that
so
video,
hard.
I was cracking up. I had to call Sandy. I go, Sandra, you have got to watch this.
Oh,
It is hilarious. So
uh,
we hope nobody took offense to it. I mean, it was just, I don't know. Sometimes
yeah.
it just feels good to laugh.
Yeah, it does,
You know?
and we didn't cut a darn thing out. We
Nah,
did
we
not. We
left
were
it
like,
all.
let him have his fun.
Yeah.
And I knew
And
he knew better. I just
he
knew
did.
it. I do. I know. I told him we were gonna film.
I know. But you'll notice after she had a little talk with him, he's being awful quiet
He sure
today.
is.
So
All of a
thank
sudden, he's
you.
not coughing as much as he
No, and
was.
he's, I
But
don't know.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
It does
I'm
work.
still expecting something
Well,
little from him.
there's probably going to be a mouse flying over our head, a rubber
He's throwing.
mouse,
I told him he'd
popcorn.
Yeah,
Who
I told
knows?
you he'd probably be slinging some rubber bands at us
Uh-huh.
here. So
Yeah,
okay, just be
absolutely.
prepared.
Yeah. Anyway, we are so glad to be back with you again. Welcome to the Dragonfly. So where were we? So, we kind of ended
Yeah.
on a little bit on what happened with the presidential
Yeah.
at the presidential rally or
Right.
however you
Right.
call
Right.
it. I'm
Right.
not a super political person,
Mm-mm.
but
In fact, we try to avoid it.
yeah, at all costs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that kind of felt like an attack on him, obviously,
Yeah.
and speaking of attack,
Yeah. We went through some
whew,
this week, didn't we? Yeah.
it is Thursday, and
whew.
it feels like it should be next Thursday. That's how long this week has felt.
It does.
But
So yours kind of started.
Let's see, what's today? Thursday, Wednesday.
Yours started yesterday.
Yesterday.
And I didn't have a great day today.
Monday and Tuesday.
I think we're
we were just kind of like, that was after everything had happened over the weekend,
yeah,
and we were just kind of like,
yeah, gosh,
it
that's
just
too
feels
bad.
kind of heavy, you know?
It did feel very heavy.
It feels heavy. And then Wednesday hit, and I had really one of the most shocking, horrible days at work. And I was feeling like, I feel really stupid, and I feel bad, and I feel defeated
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm not good enough, and
Yeah.
then I was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, stop it, stop it. Just stop it. And so I had Sandy called me on her way home, and she's like, hey, how was your day? Her chipper little self. And I was like, yeah, it was crappy. And she's like, well, how come? And so I started telling her the story. And she's like, oh, what'd you say?
Well, basically, I was saying, once again, it was somebody that was not happy with themselves, and that they felt like they needed to attack you to make themselves feel better. And we talk about that. A lot of people do that. They have a lot of inner problems, and so trying to get you in trouble, however they feel like they thought it was justified. It's craziness. Just craziness. And we kind of talk through it, and you're like, but I asked you how you handled it. And you had some great responses. You said that, you told everyone that, was present, that, hey, if I make mistakes, I make mistakes, but if I do things out of kindness. And I thought, that is awesome. And we talked a little bit back and forth on it. You weren't real specific about that kindness part yet until
she sent me a video to watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be all about like kindness and
kindness
coming from the corporate world into the spiritual world, and how you got to stay in that place of loving yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and not letting someone else take that away from you. Because
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm a good person. I
Yeah.
know that I'm kind, and I try really hard to be kind to people, even when they're not so kind to me.
Yeah.
And
That is
and a lot of people look
hard.
at that as weakness when
Mm.
in all actuality, to me, that is pure strength. Do you know
Yes.
how hard it is to stay in that place of love
Yes.
and kindness
Yes.
when all you want to do is just like literally rip somebody's head off?
Yeah.
Um,
And we're human.
we
And
are.
you feel that. You feel
Mm-hmm.
that tightness in your chest and that heat coming up your
Mm-hmm.
neck. I mean, you feel that when people attack you.
You
And
do.
and for a split moment, I'm sure you felt that way.
I was ready to roar, but I thought, you know what? I gotta go in. Luckily, this was a Teams meeting, so we
Mm-hmm.
weren't all in the same room, which made it a little bit easier to
Yeah.
just, and we didn't have our cameras on. We were just
Right.
talking, and so it was so much easier to just, okay,
Breathe.
breathe, take a step back, listen to
Mm-hmm.
what the person is saying, and
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, listen, and then come up with what you need to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like I opened my mouth, and when this happens, I know it
No,
happens to
I
you.
know.
I opened my mouth, and like all the words that I needed to say in the way I needed to say it just came rolling out.
Yes.
And I swear it wasn't
I
me
and you
saying it.
told me everybody kind of like
What what did you just say?
she's saying nice things back to us.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually she's she's saying what we should really be saying and how we should be talking to each other.
Right.
Not pointing the finger or lashing out.
Right.
She's actually saying things that shows that she loves herself, number one, and she loves others that hurt her. And that's the way we want to walk in
Yeah.
life. And then you called me last night and you said, Sandra, thank you for listening to me. Thank
Well, the thing is, for those of you that I had talked to a couple other people after her in the evening, and they're like, "Hey, so how was your day?" And I'm like, it was all right. It was kind of crappy."
Mhm.
And then it was like, then they just went on about their conversation. And so I'm like, well, how come nobody wants to know about my crappy day? And so I just felt the need
to
to
think,
call her and
yeah,
go, you know what? Thank you for asking about my crappy day. Because, most of my life has always been, listening to other people and their problems,
yeah,
and um, never having somebody to just hear me out on occasion.
mm.
And that
And
just happens to be, Sandy
yeah,
and my cousin Renee. And,
mm-hmm,
and, um, there's just like a handful of people that really listen to
yeah,
you anymore. Nobody
yeah.
really, I mean, of course, who wants to hear about somebody's crappy day, but sometimes you do need to talk about
But
it.
and I don't think we're the type of people that like just relish in our sorrows
Mm-mm.
either. Just
Mm-mm.
sometimes listen to that person that maybe say, my day was okay. There's obviously a reason why, they weren't, oh, it was fantastic, or
Right.
listen to me. I mean, we're all willing to tell each other about the good things that happen to us, but sometimes we need to listen to the
Yeah.
not so good things. And Diane, you happen to do that for me as well, because when I'm having a bad day, you always like take the time to kind of analyze it from, okay, so what happened and how did you approach it? And yeah, maybe they took it the wrong way, or maybe so it's just really nice to know that you have
It
a
is.
person that listens to you. And there's so many of us that don't. And when you do find that one person that listens, and you reciprocate too, you really have to be able to,
Yeah, you
I
do.
listen to you, you listen to me. I mean, I really think we're even on that, and I think it's important. So we talked about that last night, and then on the way into work today, I brought up that video again.
And she's like super like,
Excited about it.
I'm so excited about this. And you know what, Diana, I was really thinking about what happened to you yesterday. And I think you should really think about it this way. And, like 15 minutes or 10 minutes into the conversation, I'm like, I felt like I was on cloud nine. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I'm strong. I got this.
Well, it's because when you were attacked, we're talking about being attacked sometimes. When you were attacked, you came back with kindness. And one of the things in this video that this one gal was saying was that, when you're on your way to work and that someone blows the horn and they're like, get out of my way. How do you react to that? Do you react out of kindness? You let them pass you by, or do you attack back? And what you didn't do that, Diane. What you did is you told everyone, when I do things, I do it out of kindness, whether I know it or not. I know that this is how I want to live my life. And that's one way you show your love for yourself, self-love, and love for others, and is to be kind. And so
fast forward to today.
Yeah.
So now she's going into work and I'm feeling like $1,000,000 because she just talked me off the ledge. And I'm like, I got my confidence back and I'm ready to take on the day. And the day's going along pretty good. And then boom, I get a text message from her.
Yeah. And
I'm like, what
I felt attacked. I got a kind of a mean spirited message, and it was basically from the customers that I serve at my job, feeling like I didn't do a good enough job for them. And it was really,
and believe me, this woman,
I just felt awful, and I felt like I was being attacked, that I should have known better to let something happen. And I should have went back to my notes and conveyed this message to people that, I'm not a subject matter expert, but what I do is I do convey messages and I send emails and things like that. Well, I must not have conveyed the right message and felt attacked. And I ended up going back to our conversation, and you had texted me and had said, you have to listen to her. You have to listen to that video again. And then I went ahead and listened to it. And I'm like, I walked away from work thinking, you know what? I'm not letting her attack dictate my day.
Right.
And, that part of my day is gone. I'm not even going to think about it anymore. I replied to it in a kind manner.
She did.
I remember.
I saw it.
Yeah, I told you what it was.
Yeah.
And I replied in a kind manner, like, I apologize. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Going forward, I will now do this. And, kind of gave her a game plan. Silence. I didn't get anything back. Like, that's okay.
With me too, like, I had sent some correspondence after the meeting and this and that, and it was just like crickets.
Yeah, crickets.
It's like, okay.
So it works. It works. Kindness really works. Kindness is the same thing as love. And if I, I know, love thy neighbor. Truly, 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 it is true. We do have to love thy neighbor, no matter how hard it is sometimes. It is so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it saddens me that we do live in a world of such divisiveness, and it
is sad.
But that's not what we're going to be here to spread kindness, like we said from our very start, from our very first video. What we are here to do and what we're here to accomplish, and what we're sent to do.
The other thing I'd like to say is, like, when I said, sometimes people mistake kindness for weakness.
Yes.
That's not, we're not telling you or suggesting to you that you just let people trample all over you, because believe me, in the kindness of what I was saying yesterday, it was very clear, very evident, very straightforward, exactly how I felt, in a nice way.
Yes.
And, So please don't think, because when I say be kind, that you have to let people trample all over you, because
Absolutely not.
that is not what I'm saying either. I'm just saying there are ways you can get angry and really, just because I could have,
Yeah.
went that way and went,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
it's
So
on
could I
like
have.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? No,
Yeah.
I can convey the same message and
Absolutely.
probably get a lot more respect
Mm-hmm.
by saying it the way I'm about to say it than
Absolutely.
if I went off the rails. So please do not let anyone take advantage of you
No.
or treat you poorly just because you're being kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
Because
and mistake it for
being weak.
too
Yeah,
weak
too
or
wishy-washy, too weak, too.
Mm-mm.
That's not it at all. I like to choose and pick my own battles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it's worth fighting for, believe me,
Oh,
I will fight for it.
absolutely.
But if it's hello,
if it's a error and just something
just
that can be
something
fixed.
silly.
It can be fixed.
It's something silly.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I really going to fight about something this silly?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are acting crazy about something so silly,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and then I think what happens is they kind of, when they go their own ways and they actually start thinking about it, they're like, man, she was right. I
Yeah.
really am a crappy person.
Yeah.
And I'm making such a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's right. And as my day played out today, I had texted her something,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it turned around in my favor.
Yes.
And she also had reached out, didn't you, to another coworker?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to talk about it.
Yeah, we actually went for a little walk because I was kind of down on the fact that I was getting a nasty message, which I didn't feel like I deserved, and she happens to be a lead. And I'm like, did I do anything wrong? Please let me know because I will correct it right away. And she's like, no, you absolutely didn't do anything wrong. And you really look at the person that is giving you that grief. Look at that person. Are they happy? What's going on in their lives that are causing such I don't know if it's hatred or just spite or envy.
They're angry.
Yeah.
They're so angry. And I
don't let that happen.
One of the people in the meeting I was in, I happen to know that there are some really crappy things going on with them right now. And that's why up to that point, I had just kind of given them the benefit of the doubt and was kind of like,
right,
they're just being that way because things are really crappy for them right now. And I know I keep using that word crappy. I bet when we look at the transcript, I'm going to see crappy like 50 times. But anyway, so, I stop and think about that too. And I think, how lucky am I that I'm not going through those things that person's going through.
Exactly.
And I told Sandy, I said, you know what? Don't let somebody take away your sparkle, because she's got such a bright little sparkle. I love her sparkle.
and I felt good walking out of work today, and this makes me happy. And I came home to dinner, which was often nice. That was nice. But
was it bacon? It smells like bacon.
No, it's fried chicken.
Fried?
I know. No, we didn't fry it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. So it was good, but no, I mean, I felt like, you know what, I've always told my children, never let anybody steal your joy, and always show kindness, because it's gonna pay off. And I think I just feel like you got to be the better person in this situation.
Which kind of goes back to the pizza story that we told too.
Oh, yeah.
Where, you just never know who you're talking to. I mean, who knows? One day we could be superstars. I mean, we could be like Oprah and What's her friend?
We said Oprah and Miss Obama.
Oh yeah, Michelle Obama. Like Oprah and Michelle Obama. I mean, we could be famous like them one day.
I
And
had
here-
a dream about them before we started our YouTube channel.
She
Remember,
did.
I had a dream about Oprah, watching Oprah on stage, and
Michelle sat by you, didn't she?
Yeah, I sat down looking for a seat, and guess who comes and sits right next to me? But Michelle Obama. I was so excited. And so I was like starstruck, and it was one of the best dreams I've ever had. So
yeah. And I've had dreams of stages, like being on
Yes.
stage. Us being on stage. Well, anyway, so that's probably to come, but we'll keep you updated on that. But the thing is that you just never know. And when do you really want to go, darn, I should have been nicer to that person, I should have been kinder to that person, or God forbid something happens to them.
Those are the times you do lay awake at night, when you've snapped at somebody, and believe me, I'm human. I've done it. My younger years, snapped at somebody, or maybe said something that wasn't always so nice. And those are the times you lay awake at night. But I can lay my head down tonight and know that I responded in a kind and a intelligent way that made me feel like I was on top of the world.
See?
And you did too. In your
I don't
situation.
feel bad about it at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Oprah.
Okay, Michelle. That's her middle name, by the way.
It is.
So it's destined, right? I don't know. Yeah. I think the point of our channel here is, besides just spreading and sharing the love, I mean, so many things have happened over this last year for us.
Yeah.
And like so many things are opening up, and, we're being able to channel and do some things that we kind of thought that through, what I was thinking on the way out here, and maybe that's why I'm supposed to mention it, was when I first kind of like started last year. Well, this has been going on my whole life, but when I first started, like, I really need to look into this a little bit more. And I know you were on the same path, but I was watching like so much tarot. I mean, thank you, tarot readers out there, because I feel like for whatever reason it was at that time, I needed to hear them. I needed to get information from them. I needed whatever they had to say. You know what I mean? I was like hanging on their every word, ooh.
And they were spot on. For most of them were spot on.
Yeah. And I mean, I do. There's some that I really, really like, so I still do kind of check in on them and see what's going on. But then you kind of, okay, well, I've gotten what I needed from that, so let me move to this. But there was nothing really out there that was like, what happens to you? What happens when you start awakening? Like,
how did you transformed into your next steps, right?
Yeah, like what do you do? What is it? I mean,
What's
how do
it
you
look
meditate?
like?
What should I be looking for? What should I be watching? What should I be reading about? What's it feel like? So we kind of thought that maybe you guys might be interested, especially if you're just at that, or even further along, I don't know, awakening state where it's like so many people are starting to awaken, and it's so cool to see it. You can tell. You can tell. Now, call me.
No.
You know what? Today we were talking about these straws, and they clean the water, like, when you go camping or whatever, and you may not have any clean water, and you can have a straw that you can drink out of the creek. And anyway, so a few months ago I had bought a couple of those to have on hand, and then I thought today, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to order a couple more of those.
Yeah.
And when I had originally ordered them, I think there was like 200, it said like 200 other people or whatever have,
Put
and
the order in.
today it was 100,000.
Really?
100,000. That was from a couple months ago to today.
Yeah.
Now
And
you're going, what's this have to do with anything, right? But we did kind of bring up with you the 3 days of darkness, and it's just, it's not like I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and you know, like, oh my gosh, I got canned goods under my bed or anything like that. But
No.
you know, one of the, and even with Sandy's talk about
Yeah.
if the power should go out or whatever, you know, she has a well. My brother has a well, and when there's no electricity, there's
get
no
water.
there's no water. And if there is water, you probably shouldn't be drinking it.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, it'd be just something good to have in my little arsenal, in case something like that happens. But I think what shocked me was, I think that I mean, like, seriously, there was like 100,000 people that just all of a sudden started camping.
And
You know what I mean?
No.
I'm thinking not.
Yeah.
But I think it was people,
Like,
so many more people starting
are
to
awakening.
awakening.
Yes.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And it's funny because you text me today. I think I'm gonna order more straws, and I go, oh my gosh! And I sent you my Amazon.
Yeah, and she ordered straws.
I ordered straws. So you know, I mean that and a radio.
Yeah.
A battery operated radio.
And we have matching walkie-talkies, and
Yeah.
we didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Hers are orange, mine are pink, but they're the same. I think they're even the same brand.
Are they?
And you could be 10 miles apart and talk to somebody.
Yeah. Awesome.
So how fun is that?
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know what we would need
not that we're
walkie-talkies for.
super preppers or anything like that, but we're having those extra beans and rice in our cabinet, and we're just gonna be prepared, and we're ready to share. If we have to, make sure that
if you forgot to get beans and rice, hey,
got 'em.
come on over. And you know what? Another thing I thought of too, and I
What?
texted her. I said, I think I'm gonna go get a couple extra tanks of propane.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing anyway, because have you ever been cooking out on the grill and you run out of propane and you're like,
it's the worst.
oh my gosh, my meat is like halfway raw, and now I have no more gas to cook on my grill, and I got to take everything inside and I got to finish it up in there. So I thought, if you at least had a 1 or 2 extra little tanks of propane, number one, it's going to help out if you're grilling and you run out of gas, right? But number 2,
no harm, right?
No harm, no foul, right? So the other thing is that if we do lose power for 3 days or more or whatever, my gosh, you could boil your water on there if you didn't have a straw.
Yeah.
You can cook on it. I am a coffeeholic, so I could probably figure out a way to make coffee
You
on
sure
it.
can. Mark and I have before on the grill. Yes.
And then the other thing that I think we both have is a battery operated fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got one.
I can't sleep without that noise. So it's like, I don't know, somebody'd have to sit up all night and go, ooh. But I bought that a long time ago, just because one time we lost power and I'm like, I can't even sleep. I could sleep if I had a fan.
Yeah.
But it's just little stuff like that. Even keeping batteries on hand.
Yeah, exactly.
For your flashlights or
And
whatever.
We're not here to scare anybody.
Nah.
No. And I just think that if the power does go out, or you do have, it's always good to have caution.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But
side
hey.
on the caution side and be prepared. Just a good way to.
Yeah. And her talk, I mean, oh my gosh, the people that reached out to her, which was so bizarre that, here she gets to give the safety talk.
Yeah.
And then she chooses what to do if the power goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? We get the mega storm of megastorms.
Yeah.
And we got 100,000 people out. And of course, the electric company can't get everybody back on within a couple hours. So, some people had to sit for, a day or two.
In fact, my kids had to come here. We had power and they had to come here. So
Yeah.
we had a big, huge slumber party Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And so, these people reached out to her and were like,
I really
your
appreciate.
talk
Yeah.
hit right at the exact
Mhm.
time that we needed that
Yeah.
information that she had given them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, coincidence? I don't think so.
No.
Synchronicity? Pretty much.
Yeah.
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 And it happens, oh my gosh, with her and I.
Yeah.
We
All the
really should
time.
write it down more often.
Well, when we talk about current situations, what has been happening over the week, but Diane, we haven't even touched on any of the past things that when we weren't talking every day. I mean, some of the things that happened to us over the years as our kids were growing up, we still got a lot to share.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think that the angels brought us together at a young age to become friends. And I mean, really good friends.
Yeah.
So that when we did have to go our own ways for a while to find out and learn different things, that it would be easy to come back together.
Yeah.
And it really was. I mean, it's like no time had passed at all. I think sometimes, her husband and the kids get kind of jelly of our relationship, but no, great kids. I mean, I don't know, even in that, the similarities, like I think we talked about it maybe in our first video or second, I don't remember, where, she's this beautiful Hispanic person, and I loved the culture and her family and the things that they taught me about their culture growing up. And then, not the reason that I married a Hispanic man, but then it kept growing. Like I started to even understand the Hispanic culture even more and more and more through him. And even our kids are like interswappable.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah. You often said, my gosh, my kids are going to look like yours.
Yeah,
And
they just
sure
blend right
enough,
in. But
your own.
Here we are. And I mean, I know we probably look like salt and pepper, but
that's all right.
That's cool. That's a spice. But if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, or questions that you have, or if you are just starting your awakening and you're just not sure what's happening, and if we could answer it, I would be more than willing to share
our experience,
what we've gone through. I mean, I remember the first time that I ever had like a vision, and I was like, holy, what is this? What is this? Was that with my friend's mom or mom?
Well, I know you had the cemetery thing.
Oh yeah, I had that one, but like the first time, like I channeled somebody was my friend's mom, and I wasn't even meaning to do it. And it just happened, and all this stuff came to me, and I wasn't sure what it was because I didn't really know her mom. I knew her because I worked with her, and I called her and I go, I think this message is for you.
Yeah.
And I told her all the things that what I know was her mom showed me, and she was like, Diane, that is my mom. There's no way you would have known those things. And it was so cool. I was like, what did I just do, and how did I do it? And it's sometimes I think you just don't know.
Yeah.
You just have to accept that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And again, you follow your intuition, and mine kept leading me to her. Like, you need to talk to her. And I hadn't talked to her for a long time.
And I think it's just not having that fear. Getting over the fear of accepting some of the things that you're seeing, and it's okay, and accept.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just been amazing. Can I just say that? Absolutely amazing. Some of the things that have happened and some of the things that we have experienced.
Yeah.
And
like I said, we still have a lot to talk about.
We are a work in progress for sure.
Oh, I am. Yeah,
every day I learn something new every day.
Today alone, just getting.
But I mean, just look at the fact that we both normally we go through our work weeks,
not
just
yeah,
just right
Yeah.
through them, and then back to back. I mean, we're
Mhm.
both being like completely slammed, and
Mhm.
Sandy's like, I think we're being tested.
Yeah, I
And I'm
think
like, you know what? I
so.
think you're right. I think that this was our test to see, can you hold it together?
Mhm.
When you're ready to blow, fall apart, can you
Mhm.
hold it together? And guess
Yeah.
what? I think we passed the test.
I think we have.
Mm-hmm. I do. So you guys hold it together too. I mean, I know there are bad
There's
days.
rough days.
I know that,
And our rough days aren't ended. We're still
mm-mm,
gonna, but
mm-mm.
I think we're in control. I think we're in
Yes, yes, I
control,
love that.
and
I love that.
we are blessed to have each other. And I
Mm-hmm.
hope you have someone. And if you don't, you know,
You can be with me and her. Yeah,
we're the best there.
yeah.
But I think being in control and
Mm-hmm.
the kindness part and showing your love. I think you can really win any battle.
It will
Any battle.
come back to you
Mm-hmm.
tenfold. I promise.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, whew. It's probably. Don't you think it's one of the hardest things is to just
Breathe.
breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. It's almost like giving birth, only
Yeah.
harder. But
Uh,
yeah, just stay strong. I mean, again, we're not trying to fear, but we
mm,
all kind of know that the world is changing, and there
yeah.
are some big changes that I think are coming, and that's
Yeah.
just my own intuition and feeling
Mm-hmm.
about um how things are going to go down in the
Mm-hmm.
next, let's just say, 6 months.
Yeah.
So stay strong,
Mm-hmm.
stay true to yourself, stay in your truth,
Yes.
be who you are, and
Mm-hmm.
be kind. And if you can't be kind, then you know try being a little kind. I mean, it starts with baby steps.
Yeah, it does.
So
It does.
we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I am good. I
You
just
are?
hope you have a really good evening, and please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And come back and see us again, because we're coming back.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So
Bye.
bye. See ya.